Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Sons of the Next Generation podcast. I am your host, Joe Turner, and in the studio today with me I have Mr. Steve.
Joe Turner?
Yes.
I thought your name was Trey.
Okay, long story short, everybody, I was not ever supposed to be named Joe. My name was supposed to be Trey, Joe Ray Turner III. Trey never made it in to my birth certificate. So growing up my whole life, my mom wanted me to be named Trey, right? And I grew up my whole life, Trey. Well, Trey's nowhere on my license or anything else, so I get out in the military and everything else, it's, Joe or whatever. And so it's like, well, some people know me as Joe, some people know me as Trey, So
How about Joe Mama? Anyone ever call you that?
Well, no, you haven't ever called me that. But
Not me. Anybody. I know I haven't. I didn't know about Joe.
Yes, well, Trey's 3.
I know. I was going to call you 2.
Oh.
Just to mess with you.
Oh.
Come on.
Golly, Steve. Dadgummit, man. I would say it's too early in the morning, but it's not even the morning. Yes, all the way up here from can I say where you're from? Can I say?
Who listens to this?
I don't know who listens.
IRS?
I don't.
Yes, you can.
Okay, from Missouri. Well,
Branson, Missouri. Right outside of Branson,
Missouri. Okay, right outside of Branson, Missouri. Well, he said it, not me, folks.
My wife tell you where she was from? Okay, Kirbyville, Missouri, if you want to be exact.
Well, we said Branson, but see, dadgummit, Steve. Anyway,
this will be fun.
It will be fun. So, anyways, he is up here. Steve, I just want to tell you thank you. I appreciate you taking the time out to do this. So, guys, this is going to be a great interview. I'm very excited. My wife and I, whenever we did the first episode, we mentioned you guys on it, and I did not know that you guys were going to be up here and be on it this soon. So it's
What'd y'all say about us?
Don't worry about that. And everybody, before we get into today's episode, if you would just go like and subscribe and do the dingy bell notification thing on your YouTubes or the Rumble or whatever it is that you do out there, because let's be honest, I don't listen to all the platforms, but whatever it is you do that makes you subscribe and get notifications whenever we release new shows, go do that thing. And you can also follow us on Facebook, you can follow us on Instagram, and you can also follow us on TikTok. Don't send me anything on TikTok because I just post. I don't look at anything. I just try to stay off TikTok because TikTok isn't my favorite thing. But I also realize a whole bunch of you are out there and are on TikTok. And so I also want to be able to provide content for you guys as well. So anyways, today we are going to be talking about the 3 steps of biblical manhood with Mr. Steve. Well, Mr. Steve, before we get into the biblical manhood, what is your favorite thing right now about being a grandfather?
My favorite thing is I get to hold the little grandbabies and shake them up and do all kinds of stuff. And then when they poop their diaper, I hand them off. I don't change them. Well, I have. It's a crappy job. I have done it.
Yeah.
But I usually don't get myself in that situation. So I get to play with them, and 5 of my grandkids live with us down, they stay downstairs in the basement with their mom and dad, not just because we hide them down there.
Not because you chain them up.
But, so I get my grandkids every day, all the time. Sometimes that's a great thing. Sometimes that's we've had our days. But it's usually a great thing. So, yeah, having grandkids, most wonderful thing in the world. You play with them. I sugar them up on candy, and they go downstairs and drive their parents crazy.
Yeah.
And then they tell me how bad I suck because I gave their kids too much candy. But you know what? I don't care. That's what you get for being a teenager and putting me through that. Yeah. So, yeah, deal with it. That was a truthful answer. I bet you don't get that one.
Hey, Steve, I appreciate your honesty.
I mean, they're blessings from God.
Oh, well, yes. I'm not going to say what I really want to say.
They are blessings from God.
They really are blessings for God.
But I don't change the poop.
But you don't change the poop.
They're yours. You have to.
Yes, they do. And
close by.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, you may want to check them. So you do that. You may want to check.
You might want to. Okay, well, now, folks, today we... I know why I say folks. I don't say folks in real life. Hey,
I'm the one from Branson.
I know, and I don't ever say folks, but why I said it, I've just said it like 5 times in the last 33 seconds. You need to work in from the crown heads of Europe to the bald heads in Branson. Hey. We bring you the
Sons of the Next Generation podcast.
You have got the voice for radio.
I can change it. I can do my radio voice, too.
I don't feel like I have a radio voice. I feel like I may have more of a face for TV, but not a radio voice.
I don't have a face for TV,
You know?
but I can fake the voice for radio.
Right. I got to talk down deep like this, and then whenever I talk down deep like this, it doesn't quite sound right. So I just got to be who I am. What do they say nowadays? Be your authentic self. Well, I don't really believe in that. But anyways, now that we're down the trail of rabbits, and yes, rabbits are good. So anyway, Steve, we were talking. I asked you what was on your heart, and you said the 3 steps of biblical manhood. So, Steve, all of us, including myself, are dying to know, what's the first step?
First step is becoming a Christian. You become a Christian, you have to be a son first, right? So that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
If you don't get that one right, the rest doesn't matter. Live in this world, and that's all that really matters is Christ and what Christ wants. We're here to do his will, what he wants us to do. If you're not saved, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter. Because personally, a lot of churches won't tell you this, but if you're not saved, you go to hell. Mm-hmm. And we don't want people going to hell. No. That's why we do broadcasts like this, because you want to get a hold of people and let them know there's some crazy people out there that are Christians. You just got to find the right church. But no, being a Christian is the first step, being a son, being a Christian son, and then building that relationship with God. Because if you can build that relationship with God, and then anytime I preach, it's almost always going to be relational, because I'm going to try to get you and whoever's in the congregation I'm going to beg, plead, cry at times, whatever I got to do.
We know the cry part.
I love crying.
We know the cry part.
Whatever it takes. I got big friends. Whatever it takes, hurt their feelings. I don't care. Whatever it takes to get them closer to God, get them to have a relationship with Christ. That's what's going to set them up. So as a man, when you become a Christian, everything's got to change. Everything's got to change for you. That should be the first step in changing. So the first step in being a man to me is, speaking of being a Christian man, what I like to do is I wanted to talk about being a Christian man and knowing what does the Bible say about us being Christian men. And those are the kind of things that I want to look at. What does the Bible say about being a dad? What does the Bible say about doing things? And that's what matters. So the first thing, most important step is being unequal.
You can move that if you need to. I don't care where you move
the first step is becoming a Christian. And, where my heart is at that, of course, it's nothing to do with being a man, but it kind of is. Men, you want iron sharpens iron, and you want to work with other men. So what I like to do or want to do, and what I want to see the church doing, what's lacking in the church nowadays, is discipling other men. I want to take other young men that maybe they're not fathers yet, or they are fathers, they just became fathers, and it's all driving them crazy. Those are the ones I want to get a hold of and be able to disciple them and show them how to use God. How do you put God in your life to deal with things? That way, nothing gets to you.
Yeah.
If you can push everything off on Christ and learn how to do that, it's going to change your life. But in order to do that, first step, got to be a Christian. If you can't be a son, the rest doesn't matter. So that's the easy one there.
Yeah.
Being a Christian. It's a lot easier than not being a Christian to me. How hard is it to be good? A lot of people say, I don't want to be a Christian because I have to give up. What are they giving up?
Yeah.
I have peace of mind, living for Christ. I don't worry about a knock on the door at 2:00 in the morning. I don't worry about it when my phone rings. I don't have those issues because I try to live my life for Christ in everything that I do, whether I'm standing on the side of a ladder painting a house or whatever I'm doing. I'm always going to try to do it for Christ. And that, to me, is the most important thing about being a man, is being a Christian and being a faithful son to Jesus.
Yeah, that's great, Steve. I love it. Question for you.
Yes.
What does it mean? What does being a Christian mean? And here's why I ask you that, right? There's somebody out there, right? There's somebody out there. Maybe they're listening to this. Maybe they're not. I hope they're listening to this. And they're confused. Okay? And whenever I say confused, you slap any label of confusion you want on it, right? Confusion doesn't come from God. But, maybe they grew up in the church. Maybe they've been hurt by the church. Or maybe, which is the one that really speaks to me more than anything, right, is maybe they grew up in the church, but they seen their parents be one way at church, and then Sunday night, that is not the same daddy that was there on Sunday morning, and so therefore they see because of flawed parenting.
Yep.
They see Christians as hypocrites, yep. Right? And so, what does that mean to be a Christ follower, which is a Christian? So,
well, I actually spoke on this at church Sunday when I was preaching. Being a Christian, you can fool a lot of people, but you can't fool your family. That's the thing. And someone who calls themselves a Christian says that they're a Christian, and then they go home and they treat their wife like crap. Mm-hmm. They come home and they treat their kids like crap. They treat their neighbors like crap. Mm-hmm. Where's the love of God in that? Yeah. So if you're going to take and treat, you told your wife that she's the most awesome, best, special person in the whole wide world. I love you, love you, love you. And I just want to spend the rest of my life with you, Sugar Pumpkin, because you're just awesome. And then you just beat her down the rest, after the first year of marriage, and then you start having problems and stuff. Mm-hmm. Things aren't going as good as they were. And you start talking down to her and and the same thing. Kids come home and when dad pulls in the driveway, do they get a knot in their stomach? That's not a true Christian man. That's a man who has a really bad connection to Jesus. Mm. So, we messed up. Adam and Eve messed up. Eve grabbed the fruit, whatever it was. She ate it. Adam, as a man, should have slapped it out of her hand like a basketball, but he didn't do that. So therefore, they brought sin into the world because they believed what the devil told them. Sin came into the world. Well, long story short, Jesus came in and died because when we started sinning, we were born with a sin nature. And if you don't believe you're born with a sin nature, you just take two cute little 2-year-old kids and you give one of them a toy and see what the other one does. Mm-hmm. And better yet, to really prove my point, you take those same cute little 2-year-olds and you put 100 toys down, let kid number 1 grab a toy, see which one kid number 2 wants. He wants the one that he has, even though he's got 100 choices, but he's still going to go after that one toy because we're born with the sin nature. So we start sinning. I was born angry. Doctor slapped me and I got all kinds of mad whenever I was little, but I had to get born again. So Jesus came, died for our sins. He went to the cross, never sinned. So he didn't owe a life debt. We owe a life debt because as soon as you sin, you owe a life debt. And there's nothing you can do about it. You can't do it. There's not enough animals to sacrifice. So when Jesus came and he died on the cross, he took that. He takes that sin on us. So when we get saved and we believe in Christ and we announce that with our tongue that we believe in him, we ask for forgiveness of our sin, doesn't mean you're going to not mess up. You're going to mess up. But when you do, you turn back to him, you repent. And then when you do that repentance, and it's a true repentance, God turns and looks, and all he can see is righteousness because he sees the blood of Jesus. Mm-hmm. If you take a bug and you put it underneath the glass slide, mm-hmm. you can see all its parts, everything. Mm-hmm. But if you take blood and smear it over the top of that, you can't see nothing. So Christ's blood, when they talk about his blood covering, our sins, that's how I see it because I physically did that as a teenager to try it. And whenever his blood covers our sins, you don't see it anymore. So, get saved and God will change you. And, that's something you got to work on. And a lot of people, they get saved, but they don't get discipled. They don't know how to be a Christian. Well, my dad was a Christian, but, he beat me. My mom, well, it's not about your mom and dad, and sometimes that sounds kind of rough to say to people, but, my dad was awful. I had a terrible. Sometimes I would think, there's some situations where it's better to not have a dad in the home, mm-hmm. And I felt at times that was me. But God put different people in my life, and it was women, because I didn't trust men, because I didn't like men, because of the way my dad did me. I didn't trust them. I thought all of them were the same. My uncles were the same way. But God put godly women in my life, and I had one in particular that showed me, hey, this is, you don't have to be what your father was. You can be the kind of dad that you wanted to have. Yeah. I never had a grandkid, or I have 7 grandkids. I never had a grandfather. Yeah, I had one grandmother for a while, but growing up, all my grandparents they died before I was ever born. Mm. So I never had one. I don't know what a grandfather's supposed to be. So I'm using that same philosophy now, becoming the kind of grandfather that I wished I had. Yeah. My kids I give them candy like, it's crazy how much candy I give them. But you know what? I have one that actually runs to me with a deep voice and goes, "Papa!" Runs and grabs a hold of me. He's 2 years old. She'll run past her dad. When we both come home from work, she'll run past Dad and run straight to me. Love it. Gives me the big head every time. But, I've become the kind of grandpa I wished I had. Am I perfect? No, they'll tell you quick. I gripe about things, and sometimes my fuse, not even a short fuse, my connection to Jesus gets kind of weak, and I got to kind of rewire things or let God rewire things. But to answer your question, I do chase rabbits.
You do chase some rabbits. Wow. It's okay, though. It's okay.
Rabbits are good. I'm telling you.
Rabbit stew?
They're good eating. Oh, yeah. I guess I've never eaten a rabbit. But anyway, no, it's so those who say, well, my father wasn't a Christian, or my father was a Christian and he did this, he did that, so forth. That was the problem right there, is nobody got with you when you became a Christian and said, don't look to your father for your Christianity. Don't look to your youth pastor or your pastor as your Christ, because he'll disappoint you. Mm-hmm. Man is going to disappoint you. I don't care how nice I am and how great I think I am. I will disappoint you eventually. I'll do something or say something. I'll have a bad day and I'll say something I don't mean or whatever, but I'll say it and it'll ruin your day. Yeah. And all of a sudden that's going to, it shouldn't affect your Christianity. So that's why I push getting your relationship right with Christ. Eat the word, pray, see what he wants you to do. Get to know him so well that anytime you go through a problem, you can just think of a scripture that makes sense to kind of get you through. And then you pray that to God and you hold him to it. Well, God, you said you're going to supply all my needs according to your riches, not mine, because I'm broke and I need help. Mm-hmm. You said you're going to supply all my needs, and we got to stand on that. But we have to look to Christ and not to, other people, because people will always disappoint you. Mm-hmm. And those that had bad childhoods and bad situations like that, I was one of them, and I can say there is survival on the other side, because it took me a while. But now that I got them, I don't let go.
No.
Did that answer your question?
Yeah, did it? Sorry, Steve. I don't remember what my question was. The last question I ran is, what does it mean to be a Christ follower? That was my last.
I have size 12 feet.
I think that was.
You were asking something about shoes.
Yeah, something about shoes. It's bigger than mine, so. Yeah, no, man, that's great. And
you notice I didn't respond. I didn't say anything that time.
I was just thinking about what you were saying, whenever you're like, in some instances, I feel like it might be better that, to not have a dad under certain circumstances. I look back with my dad and, it's not that my dad had... I don't ever believe that my dad had bad intentions, okay? But he was not intentional, right? And whenever I say he didn't have bad intentions, he did a lot of bad stuff. Relationally, with my mother, with me, he did a lot of bad stuff, and he wasn't trying to follow Christ either. Like to your point, there's a lot of faking it, Yeah. And, the man you've seen at church, right, wasn't the same man on Monday, and I don't say that to, I would love it if my dad listened to these sometime, you know what I mean? I got a very flawed view of what it would look like, of how to treat women, of how to treat my children, and a lot of things that I've had to heal from. Now, the reality is that he didn't have a good dad either, and I'm not excusing his behavior. Because once you're an adult, you can't say, "Oh, well, it was my dad's fault." No, once you're an adult, you're responsible
Once
for you.
Once you walk out that door, it's on you.
Exactly. He could have stepped up and he could have said, "Hey, this crap stops with me." And the reality was that it didn't happen. And so now I'm doing that. And I say, "Man, this crap stops with me." I'm not cheating on my wife. Nope. I'm going to love my wife. I'm going to love my children. I'm going to teach them the Word of God. Some days it's exhausting. And I just think about it. You know what? I can actually shine your boots a little bit, because knowing you and seeing you, and just watching you over the years, I look at your son. I'm looking at your son over there who doesn't get to be on camera. If someone was to walk into your home, they would never know. Yeah.
They'd never know that 2 kids weren't yours.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to cry. They'd never know that 2 kids weren't yours.
Yeah.
But I told you that years ago. I saw that.
Yeah.
When you have a dad like that, that's probably why you get along with women more than men, most likely.
Me? Yeah, there's probably a good correlation with that.
It's because sometimes we get afraid that, that person, that guy is going to disappoint. They talk big, like you said. In church they're one way, at home, totally different story. And I hate that for you because my dad wasn't a Christian, though. I knew he was going to go to work a heathen. He was going to come home a heathen if we didn't go to church. I didn't start going to church until I was a teenager. And I had to learn all this stuff, and that's why God put all them different, like I said, women in my lives. And it took me a long time to get to where I can actually trust having a relationship with a guy. And that explains a lot about my teenage years and jumping from, girlfriend to girlfriend to girlfriend. It was just no stability because I didn't have that dad, that stepped in. And that to me is number 2 of that is, one, you become a Christian, and then you become a dad. If you become a dad, you're in a hole now. You want to become a husband first, but we'll just jump right into father. Yeah. When you become a father, yes, it is your job to pour into them kids. I'm the only Christian in my family. Mm-hmm. None of my brothers. There's 8 of us, and I'm the only Christian. Why God chose me, I have no idea. And I thank God that He chose me. And I brought my brothers to church, and I witnessed to my sister for years, and they've made their choices, and you can only throw so many seeds, but I live it every time. If we get together, have any kind of reunion or whatever, they're all getting drunk. I don't get drunk. I bring my own Coca-Cola. I make sure I don't get caught. I'm not going to be that guy that, hey, y'all want to go out on a boat and go fishing today, and then I don't bring anything to drink, and, it's 100 degrees, and look in the cooler, and all there is beer. You don't let yourself get caught like that. And it's tough when you don't have that leadership, that father figure telling you. I didn't have a mom that was so uninvolved with us. She never told me, and that's why it explains a lot. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't say that. Son, what are you doing? Don't say that. You don't say that to people. Son, you don't,
Yeah.
No one told me that. And I had no filters. And I don't have a whole lot of filter now. Imagine me before Christ got a hold of me. I've been a Christian since 1982, and I still get in trouble with my mouth. Almost seems like weekly, for sure. Used to be daily. I mean, hour by hour, just, but God has had to come in and just really show me because I didn't have it. So I love the fact that the love you have for your 2 sons in your house is so strong. I love to see that. I love that about you. The first time I saw you, I know that you treat them like your own. And I know you have 2 daughters that are your blood, in quotations, daughters. But, it doesn't matter. I guarantee you when the chips fall, that they're going to you. Yeah. They're going to you. And that's your job to put in to little Joe over there. Yeah. It's your job to put in to Liam. Yeah. I don't know if you want your kids' names on here, but that's all right. It's your job to do that because God, maybe, I don't know who the others are, and I'm not slamming, but I do know where you sit in church, and I know who you sit under, so I know the kind of teaching you get, and that's the kind of teaching that you're going to give your sons, whether they're involved in the picture or not. Yeah. And that's what I like about you the most, more than anything, was that, and I noticed that 7 years ago, when they were just little farts. Yeah. Did I say fart on here?
I don't care.
I don't say little poots.
I say
stupid. Little poots.
Yeah, that just sounds dumber than a box
poots
of
rocks. And boots.
Yeah.
But no, we need people to pour into us and to teach us at a young age how to be a man. You can't do that, Joe. You can't say that. I had to get after him the other day. You know what? And not because you're not doing your job, but he's just never been told this. Sure. And I let him know. And you know what? He's been so respectful, and he won't leave me alone. He's following me around everywhere. It's like, dude, I chewed on you. Why are you still following me? Because I love him enough to hurt his feelings if I have to get him on the right path. And he hadn't called me fat since. But there's a reason.
Making
like I
progress.
said, there's a reason. But we had our talk, and that had nothing, But your kids are respectful.
Yeah.
Your kids are respectful, and that's what I want to say. Love your kids. One's scared to death of me. I don't know what it is. I just look at her. She still cries.
I don't know.
If I point at her, man, she really gets crazy. But she did drink the Coca-Cola.
You're getting her, Steve. It's just like a fish to a worm on a hook.
But I haven't given her any more because she won't come near me now. No, you don't get no Coke. You got to come to me. But the other one came. She went right up.
She's ready. She's already warmed up to you.
I'll try not to say your kids' names.
That's okay.
Call them Barbara. My little giant. There.
Little giant.
Ah! They don't know who that is.
How loud is that when he slaps the table? Is that pretty loud?
What was that loud?
It's probably loud in the microphone, I would assume.
I'm sorry.
But that's okay. I'm just trying to imagine the people that's in there listening with their headphones on and they're working, and all of a sudden, bam, yeah, But anyways, that's okay. It's not too loud to me, but I just...
Well, yeah. So,
yeah,
there is a second step so you become a Christian and then you get married. Some people don't get married, but you get married. And when you get married, that opens up a whole new can of worms there. You got to learn how to treat your wife. And the Bible's very clear. You treat your wife as Christ loved the church. How did Christ love the church? He died.
He died for her.
He died for the church. So, and I take that literally also. So if someone comes in and they pull a gun or something, I'm stepping in front of my wife. I'm stepping in front of my children because that's what you do, as a man, as a protector. You need to be the priest, the prophet, the king. And I don't mean king in a put your thumb on their, head kind of way. Your wife is your helpmate. She's a co-equal partner. It's kind of like you have this. If it were a business, if we had a business and we decide, we'll go 50-50. Well, someone has to have, if it's a two-person partnership, someone's got to be 51%. Even if you split everything 50-50, someone has to have the final say. Or if there's ever an argument, and there almost always is when people go 50-50, you got to have at least one person have that 51%. And that's basically how it is in a marriage, is the husband is the one who has that 51%. Yeah. And a good Christian wife knows that, and they live by that. Does that mean they're beneath us? No. They're an equal partner. If you understand partnerships and understand the 41 or 49, 51%, partnership, that's only on a deciding vote. But everything, you're just co-equals. You're co-equals. Does that mean the man has to be in charge of all the money? No, whoever's stronger in the money, that's who needs to be in charge of the money. But the one who's supposed to have the final say and the protector of the family is you're the one who should be instituting the Bible studies. You're the one who should be telling the kids, no Bible, no breakfast. You're the one that needs to be telling the kids, all this stuff. And she needs to be reinforcing it with you. Because that's the worst thing in the world to me is whenever a mother says, just wait till your dad gets home. Women have to take that responsibility as the discipliner as well. So when you're at work and them four boneheads over there are doing stupid stuff, to have your wife, just say, just wait till your dad comes home, that's not fair. That's not fair to them, and it's not fair to you. So when you come driving down the driveway, and here comes that diesel truck, here he comes, and all of a sudden now they get this knot in their stomach because dad's coming home, and I'm about to get in trouble. You don't want that. You don't need that. So and Melissa did that one time. Well, I'm gonna tell your dad. And I came home. I was like, well, I don't know what to tell you. They didn't do it to me. They did it to you. And they get away with it because I'm not going to do it. If they did it on your watch, you need to discipline them. If it's something we need to talk to them, that's different. But as far as something they did stupid and they need a spanking or something, Lord forbid we spank our children anymore. Oh, yeah. Spare the rod, spoil the child.
That's out of the Bible, by the way.
It is. It's in Proverbs. And I kind of look at it this way. If you don't spank your kids, how can you honestly say that you love them if you... Again, whenever I teach, if I'm a youth pastor, kids pastor, preacher, whatever it is, evangelist, I don't mind hurting people's feelings if it's going to lead them to the Lord, if it's going to make them better. I don't mind spanking my kid if I know it's going to make him better. If I'm just doing it because I had a bad day, that's one thing. If you come home in a bad mood and then your kid did something, you need to take some steps back first before you go after him and discipline him and make sure. is what I'm about to do really worth what he did or said? Or did I just have a bad day because my boss sucks? You know, we have to take that into consideration before we discipline our kids. But anytime it happens on mom's watch, hey, mom needs to be the one to take care of that, not you when you come home. Because the last thing you want is for your kids, again, to get a knot in their stomach when dad comes home. I want my kids to knock me over. You know, of course, now they're all bigger than me. But my daughter, she still runs to me when I come home. I mean, how great a feeling is that? She still comes and sits with me in the recliner, almost breaks me in half. But, you know, she does. Yeah. I tell her every day she's beautiful. I tell my grandkids they're beautiful and that I love them. I'm always giving them affirmations. To be a man, you got to be able to do things as a man and know that because you do this, to me, makes you more of a man because you can say, I love you. I have no problem. I hug a guy. I'll kiss a guy in the cheek. I don't care. I'm manly enough. You know, what are they going to do? I'll shoot them. Well, you know, if someone doesn't like it, I'll shoot them for it. You know, but I'm going to hug that man. I'm going to give him a kiss on the cheek. You know how long it took Pastor to get used to getting hugged?
He probably didn't want to kiss on the cheek.
I did give him a kiss on the cheek before. But as far as the hugs,
yeah.
He's like, a handshake as good as that. No, it's not. Handshake. Get that hand away from me. You wipe with that hand. Get that hand away from me. Think about it. No, hug me. Don't give me your wiping hand.
Yeah.
I love to hug people. You know, don't be afraid to hug people. Hug your kids. Hug your kids. Let them know you love them. And they got to see you loving on mom.
Oh, yeah.
Don't argue in front. I mean, you can have little disagreements in front of your kids. Anything major, if you're one of them people that have them kind of major fight, get away from your kids. Don't let your kids, they don't need to see it, first of all. Secondly, they're going to play you against each other when they find out who's weak in what areas.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I can go to dad when I want this. I can go to mom. No, that doesn't. Me and Melissa don't argue. We never argue. But if we did, we made it a point that we would make sure that we're away. We get out of the area before we start discussing. And when Kayla would mess up, that's another thing. Not arguing, but if Kayla, you know, messed up, we would go and we would talk about it without Kayla in the picture. Kayla's not there. We would go talk about it. This is what we're going to do. This is what it deserves. Make sure we're on the same page and do it. And then that's how we discipline. But as a dad, you know, you have to be able to affirm your kids, and especially your wife. One day, my kids are going to be gone. And I would sit here and look at the camera and lie and say that I'll be sad when they're all gone. But I won't. I'll be thrilled. You know why? Because I've been building this relationship with my wife for 30 years. 30 years. We have our little weekend getaways here and there, and we've been working on this. All we're doing is we're practicing for the day they leave. Ain't going to be no empty nest syndrome here. We're done. You're done. We're almost there. And my son, if him and his wife and my grandkids, it would be terrible if they move. But then again, if me and my wife are alone, it's going to be a beautiful thing because I've built that relationship. I've kept doing that because I've done that as a husband. I show her that I love her. So when our kids are gone, yeah, you'll have a knot kind of in your stomach, but I've fulfilled that knot. She fulfills that knot. We can go by and see them anytime we want, you know. But they're gone. The house is ours. We can sleep late. We can walk around in our underwear. We can do whatever we want to do. I don't have to listen to them gripe about it. If you don't like me seeing me in my underwear, then get out of my house. Kind of a Donald. But, you know, we got to be able to affirm our children, affirm our wives, make your wife feel like she's the best thing in the world. Because, brother, that's what you told her. That's why she's with you. Otherwise, you have to tell her, you know what, I lied that day. I just want you to know I lied. And no, my wife, she's my world, and I let her know it all the time. I tell her how beautiful she is all the time. If she's having a bad hair day, I never tell her that. You know, and she says, what looks better, this one or that one? Just always pick the one on the right. I don't know why.
Always the one on the right.
That one. Because she's going to pick the left anyway.
Yeah.
So, you know, she'll say, hey, you got to learn to be patient. So, you know, she'll say things like, hey, honey, let's go eat somewhere. And I'll be like, where do you want to go eat?
Oh,
and she'll say, it don't matter.
You
anywhere.
Pick.
Yeah, you pick it. Huh. I haven't been to Taco Bell in a while. Oh, no. I don't want Taco Bell. Anywhere but Taco Bell. Okay. How about Sonic? Oh, that puts a boot in my stomach every time I eat it. Okay, then where do you want to eat? I don't care, just not Taco Bell or Sonic. Okay? Then let's go to Chili's. There's always that long wait at Chili's. Woman!
What do you want?
You know, you got to get used to that, and you can't get crazy on them. You just kind of deal with it. Just keep going down the list until you hit one that they like. Or just do, the other night I took my wife to Red Lobster. I hate Red Lobster. I don't like seafood. Last time I went there, matter of fact, the one we went to was in Branson, and I got to my last bite, and I eat either steak or chicken. That's it, because I don't like fish. I don't like anything. The only seafood I eat is a hush puppy, and someone told me that's not even seafood. It's a cornbread or something. So anyway, I thought I was doing something, but no, it was cornbread. I love cornbread. So I get to my last piece of steak, and there's a hair following it.
Oh,
and I'm going, I'm writing in cursive, and this hair is going every. And it was on the last piece, and I tell the waitress, dude, the cook, what does their hair look like? Oh, he's got black hair.
You don't say.
So she's like, oh, we'll give it to you. No, you don't have to give it to me free. I don't need it. But so that just did it in for me and Red Lobster. Well, I took my wife to Red Lobster the other night. The same one that had the hair. And this has been like 15, 20 years I've been strong on this one.
Yeah.
But I did it because I love my wife. And I knew I didn't have to go through well, why don't we go here? Oh, I know she'd like that one. Yeah. I hate it. But sometimes you just got to take one for the team.
You do.
And that's what I did. So, yeah.
I got a trick for you. Next time you go to ask your wife about deciding where she wants to eat, just say, hey, honey, guess where I'm taking you out to eat. And whatever she guesses, take her there.
Well,
try that.
I will try.
You should.
That's actually funny. But now she's going to be watching.
Tell her
this,
not
and
to
now
listen.
She knows it. Where to go?
Tell her not to listen.
Edit that out. Edit that out.
I have to take that one out.
You know what's? Whoa, that's the hair, and that's why. Oh, yeah, it's bad. But anyway.
Yeah. No, man, that's great.
No, affirm your wife, affirm your kids, affirm other men. Sharpen iron. What do they say? Iron sharpens iron. Just remember that anytime iron rubs against iron, it causes friction. Mm-hmm. That's something. Just remember that. Iron sharpens iron, and whenever you rub iron on iron, it causes friction. So it may get ugly first, but it'll smooth out. So it doesn't always get ugly, but that's what we got to do. Iron sharpens iron. We have to sharpen iron as men. If you see a guy treating his wife like crap, or treating his kids like crap, don't do it in front of his wife or kids, but just pull him to the side. Dude, what are you doing? Just remind him of his vows. That's what I always do. Anytime someone's having problems and they're split from their wife or whatever the situation is, and they're going through some kind of marital problem, that's what I always remind them of. Why did you want her to begin with? What do you see in her? What did you see in her? And he'll tell me, like this, and this. Did she lose it all? Or did you steal it from her? She was the funniest thing ever. Well, did you steal her joy? Do you talk down to her every time? A guy comes around and all of a sudden you think she's, wanting to cheat, and she feels like she can't be in public, she can't do anything, and you've taken that joy from her. I know someone personally where that's happened. She's divorced now, and it's sad. They pull her away from all their friends and everything, and and you wonder why. Well, why do we not get along? Well, everything's changed. This is how I am, and this is why you said you love me, and what attracted me, and because of that, you're using it against me. And it just doesn't make no sense. So I always try to remind people, why did you get with your wife to begin with? What attracted you, and has that changed? And if it did change, is it because of you? Not because of her, but because of you. Right. Because women are responders. Women are responders. So get this, men. If you treat your wives like poop for a long period of time, if you treat your wife like crap for a long period of time, and then all of a sudden someone gives you some advice and says, you know what, start treating her like a queen. And you start treating her like a queen for 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden you give up because she hasn't changed. Well, you treated her like crap for 8 years. Yeah. And she's waiting for you to quit. And you just did. You lasted 2 weeks. That's it. See how I kind of pulled back on the voice so I didn't blare the eardrum?
Good job.
Yeah.
We're saving the eardrums, people.
So, just remember, women are responders. They respond to the way you treat them. You treat your wife like a queen, she's going to treat you like a king. You treat them like crap, it's going to take a while, but you can get them back. You can get them back to where they were and get your relationship back, but you got to start over. As the man, you got to initiate the healing. You have to initiate all the I love yous and the hug. Don't make her do it.
No.
Be the man. Yeah. Be the man. A real man will do that.
Yeah.
Oh, and don't
sometimes
get me started.
Sometimes they don't know if they are a man.
One day we're going to have to talk about church and putting pants back on the church.
Yeah.
Because now our church, not ours yet. We make it back. I'd love to get back here, but that church it got good men.
Yeah.
And you have to have good men. The church we're attending in North Dakota, or wherever we live.
Wherever you live.
Not North Dakota. In Missouri, good men, strong men. During praise and worship, you see men flood the aisle or flood the altar. I love it. I love seeing men leading their family. Men, your sons especially need to see you when you've had a bad day and then how you fix it. You know, whenever I was doing a shower the other day and I got so mad when I was working on some trim, and I told God, either help me or kill me.
Still alive, so he helped you. I'm glad.
But I felt so bad, and I did that in front of my wife, and there was some other choice words that came before that. And I God told me, use screws, dummy. And so I used screws, fixed it in like 2 minutes, immediately left the room, told her, make it pretty. I left the room, started reading the Word, started praying, begging Him for forgiveness. And your kids need to see that. You're having a bad day, they need to know, how do you get out of your bad day? Don't hide it from them. You know, if it's punching on a bag, whatever it is, but you need to let them know how you get out of your bad day, how you can change it. And if you're punch on a bag, that's fine, but use the Word first.
Yeah.
See what God says. Then go in there and beat up on the bag. Ain't nothing wrong with hitting the bag, trust me.
No.
Or going out shooting things.
As long as it's not other people.
And neighbors' dogs. But your kids, your sons need to see you pray. Your sons need to see you come in there and sweep your wife off her feet. Your sons need to see you bring her flowers if she's into the flowers. My wife one day told me flowers are useless because they just die. So I didn't bring them to her for like 15 years. She has never told me that since. So, but, your kids need to see you as a man and how you unwind. How are you when you're really, really happy and everything's going great? How do you push God aside because, well, I don't need you now, God, because everything's going good?
Yeah.
No, they need to see you in the good times and the bad times and how you deal with God. They need to see you pray. Pray with them at night before they go to bed. Just go through and just lay your hand on their head and just say a small prayer or something. Let it build into something. But do something with your kids. Show them that I am a praying man, because they're going to be the first ones to tell on you. When you go to church and you're talking about how great you are, your sons, your children will be like, no, Daddy's awful. Daddy said I suck and I'm ugly. And he said, if my dog looked like that, he would shave his butt and teach him how to walk backwards. That's what my dad told me. No, don't do that. Affirm your kids and let them see you love God. Let them see you love God, or they'll tell everybody at church that you're not a real Christian.
Yeah.
And you don't ever want that. So, as a matter of fact, you want your kids to affirm to others. You want them to be the first one to testify. No. My dad's great.
Yeah.
My dad's great. You want to learn how to pray? Go to my dad. My dad will, you're going through what? You and your wife having problems? Oh, go to my dad. My dad will help you. He knows what to do. Go to my dad. Go to my mom and dad. They get along great. They're always laughing and joking and everything. He's doing something right. Go check him out. He treats me good at home all the time. So, you're having problems with your dad? Maybe your dad needs to talk to my dad, because my dad treats me great.
Yeah.
And then you know what your son will do? Your son will grab him and say, well, let me pray for you. Why would he do that? Because he saw Dad do it.
Yeah.
Because Dad saw Steve having a bad day, and Dad came up to Steve and said, you know what, Steve? Whoa, Steve, calm down. Let me pray for you. That's what we do. Did I do it again? Did I yell loud?
Oh, you backed up. You backed up once, and then you went back. That's okay, Steve. It's okay. Everybody don't have your volume.
But the point was good, though, right?
Yeah.
So it was worth it. It's just stuff. Man, people go to seminars and they pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars to go to these seminars. It's all free.
Is it, man?
This is all free.
Know,
all you got to do is just keep this. What is it? You hit subscribe. And tell everybody else about it. And that's treating his wife like crap. Or he's Joe Christian on Monday or Sunday, but then Monday he treats his kids and wives like crap. Tell them. Subscribe. Listen to this one. The crazy guy with the black hat.
Yeah.
The fat, sweaty guy. Because he's got some good advice. I'm telling you. You talk to my wife, and my wife is smoking hot, good looking. I was a good looking guy. Once upon a time.
Once upon a
I
time.
had hair, and I was cute.
I
was
bet you
cute.
were,
I got
Casey.
pictures. I'll show you one day. But as soon as I saw that's going away, I really had to kick it into gear. I had to keep her laughing.
Oh, yeah.
I got to treat my wife good because, man, I got ugly over the years. So I had to get better at everything else. So just saying, you got to know how to treat your wife. My wife, she doesn't want to leave me.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to leave me because I treat my wife awesome.
Yeah.
All the time. And if I do something stupid, which we're going to do, I'm quick to make up with her.
Oh, yeah.
And then I apologize to God, too. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. You gave me this woman, and I did that. I said that to her. I'm so sorry. And my kids need to see that. I never should have talked to you that way. If you do something and you say something stupid to your wife in front of your kids and it hurts your feelings, you need to apologize to her in front of your kids. That's the time I will say you need to, if y'all need to settle, whatever, but they need to see you fixing that.
Yeah.
They need to see that because that's what's going to make them a real man. A real man is one who stands for God. A real man is one who stands with his wife and loves his wife. And a real man is one who loves his children, loves them enough to show them his weaknesses, but to show them his strengths and show them where his strength comes from, which is from Christ. That's where we get our strength.
Yeah.
And they need to see that. That needs to be modeled. Don't just tell them to go read their Bible. You read.
Yeah.
Tell them, hey, just read what I read. It was good. You have the Man's Bible?
No, this is this.
I have one that's called the Man's Bible. It's really
Man-
good.
okay.
I'll have to grab another one next time I'm
Yeah.
in Mardell's, and I'll try to remember, and I'll bring you one.
Bring me
It's
one.
pretty cool. It has a lot of good
I
stuff
love
in
it. No, this Bible actually, as a
It's not an anti-woman Bible. It's just,
it's just called the Man's Bible. So this one is special to me because when my wife and I first got married, I liked the ESV. I've since switched to the New King James because I just like that one. But I don't have any problems with the ESV. But this is an ESV, and actually I apologize. This one is not an ESV. This one's an NLT, New Living
That's
Translation.
what I like.
And so my wife got this one for me because there's some good stuff in here. But
It's the Bible, of course. There's
well,
stuff
of course,
in there.
there's good stuff in there. And
Are you talking about extra stuff?
well, I'm talking about a little bit of extra stuff. But this one's special to me because I'll be honest, Steve, I wasn't in my word a lot before my wife and I got married, and even for a while after.
I get it.
I wasn't in the word very often. And what it was my wife bought it for me, and she wrote me this little note right here on the front. This one's called Every Man's Bible. Is this it?
It may be.
This one's called Every Man's Bible. And
I think this is the one that I have.
well, dadgummit, Steve.
That's a good Bible. She was right. See, you have a wife that cares about where
Yeah.
you're going, brother, because she got you the right Bible.
She did.
Because that has just little insights and different things on how to be a man.
Yeah.
Not how to be one of these little girly men that they have
No.
nowadays, but
Whoa.
a real man.
Yeah.
A real man, one that loves his kids, loves his wife, not afraid to show it, and will go out and shoot a deer, shoot whatever,
Oh, yeah.
hit a baseball mile, play basketball better than anybody. Whatever the case is, drive a car faster, it doesn't really matter. They need to take care of what's at home. They need to take care of the wife. They take care of their kids, and that their kids know exactly what a man, especially your sons, they got to know what a man is.
Yeah.
Got to know what a man is.
Yeah. Now, real quick, Steve, if we can hit the pause button just for a second, not really, keep recording. But no, so my wife, she has written 2 books, and she's also working on her 3rd one right now. But that's okay.
How come I don't have one of them?
I don't know. Ask my wife. So
That kind of sucks.
there's, you have to make sure it's in the screen, Joey. But the one she has written, 2 girls, it's called Kingdom Girls.
Never mind.
Again, you don't need that one, Steve. It's called Kingdom Girls Devotional, an 8-day devotional journey. This is what it looks like on the camera.
But that would be very good because I have a 9-year-old granddaughter that reads everything.
It would be very good. You
That's
should
right.
get her one. Go buy it on Amazon.
No, I'm going to tell you what, to give me one.
Oh, you should buy it on Amazon.
I gave her my recipe.
Support. Yeah, you did, I guess. We might could give you one. But go buy another one on Amazon. The second one is called Noble Prince, an 11-day devotional adventure for young boys that my wife has also written. I haven't done Kingdom Girls yet, and I'll be honest, I have not read all the way through
You
it.
look like crap in a dress. Just
I
saying.
would, well, I got a picture for you, but we ain't talking about that right now.
Tell you it looks bad. So go ahead.
Just say Wonder Woman later, and I'll tell you all about it. Anyways, so again, Noble Prince, an 11-day devotional adventure. I don't remember if I already said this part, but I'm saying it again if I did. Go buy it on Amazon, guys. We want everyone to be able to afford these books. So these aren't an outrageous price. I think they're both of them are under $10. So you can go and buy one. Right? Because we wanted to put it at a price point. We're not trying to get rich. We're not trying to make it on New York Times bestseller.
But wouldn't it be great to be rich?
Well, Steve, I can't.
It would.
If we're talking about money, no, I can't say that I would be like, oh man, I really hope I don't ever
don't
get,
obsess over
no.
it, but it would be awesome to be rich.
You know how many people you could help?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, 'cause I do a lot with what I don't have, right?
Exactly.
I just go in debt more and more for others. Doesn't have the same.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same effect. No.
I have millions and I gave a lot of it away.
Yeah, no.
I have thousands on credit cards and I've filled them up on everyone.
So guys, go buy the books. They're a cheap price point. And no, we don't have millions of dollars sitting around just for fun, but go buy it. I did the Noble Prince with my boys, and it was good. Well, we'll probably end up doing it again at some point in the future. I know that I'll be end up doing the girls one here in the next few years because my girls are getting to that age to where they will need it. So that was, call that a commercial break, call that a whatever. I don't know what it was, but that's our ad that I just ran without it being an ad. So I'm just trying to promote my wife's book and get it in the hands of people that it will help and that it will benefit.
And speaking of men, again, see, that's a good way. If you take this and then you do this with your boys, you do it with your boys and show them. That way you can actually, again, you're showing them how to be a real man.
Yeah.
How to be a man. It starts when they're kids. That's how you groom them. You're grooming somebody's husband right there.
Yeah.
You're grooming somebody's dad.
Yeah.
You want him to be like your dad? Not that I don't know your dad.
Yeah.
But you want him to be like my dad? I don't want him to be like my dad.
No.
I want him to be better than what I ever thought I can be. And that's how I'm going to train him. That's how you want to train him that way.
And guys, I got to tell you something. So there was a while back, and you can ask my oldest son here. There was a while back that, it's been a little while now, that there was just we really try to have a house of peace in our home, and we want people that's obviously in our family, but even other people that aren't in our family, to come to our house and feel that peace and feel that love of God, because we want this to be a place where you can come and you can drop your shoulders from the cares of the world.
Do you get a hug if you're a guy?
I'll give a guy a hug.
Okay.
I'll give you a hug. Hugs are fine. And so, there was some problems in the house. You know what I mean? Like, it's just seemed like my oldest son, everything I'd say, I was always meeting resistance. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is the deal? And it's just like it's not that it was a complete barnyard, but it wasn't what our home is now. And what I noticed, what changed was whenever I started spiritually feeding my wife and kids, because I didn't always do that. Because I had a bad taste in my mouth by doing that from my father. Say what? Okay. So, I had a bad taste for doing that from my father, and I always hated it, man. My dad would be like, "Oh, it's time for family devotional," and I hated it. It gave me a knot in my stomach. Honestly, it made me angry because I knew that why are you doing this stupid crap? Right? Because I know you're not living it.
He doesn't normally say crap. He's just saying it because I do. But go ahead.
No, you can ask anybody at church. I say crap whenever I preach, too.
Crap your pants, maybe.
Well, that wasn't all that long ago, but we're not talking about that, Steve.
Well,
don't embarrass. You said
don't
you weren't going to
sneeze in
embarrass
wintertime
you,
and wear khakis and you'll be okay.
Embarrass me, Steve. But no, man, spiritually feed your family. As the man of the house, you do it, because guess what? The reality is that if you don't do it, your wife's going to try to do that. Well, that's not the proper spiritual authority there. It's supposed to be Christ. I don't know if you guys have seen the graph that I'm talking about, but it's supposed to be Christ at the top. Then it's supposed to be the husband under Christ. And then it's supposed to be the wife under the husband. And then it's supposed to be the children under the wife.
Yep.
Right? Because it's like it's the spiritual umbrella.
Yep.
Everybody is covered.
And then your job goes under all that.
And your job's your butt's at the bottom. And so I can't stress to you, if you're having problems in your home, you as a man, you need to step up and start being the change. Because you can't wait for your wife to do it, because that's not the proper, it's not the proper spiritual chain of command. And so I'm not saying everything's going to change overnight. Everything might not change in a month.
You know what? It will change. I guarantee it. If your wife is the one doing everything right now, and then you step in and start doing it, life will be great for you, because now all of a sudden, dude, this guy's better than I ever thought he ever could be. It gets even better when you become a man and you do the things that men are supposed to do, and then she can be the wife and woman that God wanted her to be, which is to honor you, and she'll honor you in everything you do whenever you step up and be that man that you're supposed to be.
But I agree with. I was just saying you may not see it change in 24-hour time period.
Oh, yeah.
But you will see it change.
Yep,
100%.
Because they're responders. That's how God made them.
Yeah, and so that was always encouraging for me. And I'll be honest, guys, I don't ever want any of you guys or even you, Steve, to think that, oh, hey man, Trey, Joe, whatever this guy's name is, I can't decide what his dadgum name is.
Joe Mama.
Ever since I've been starting this podcast, because, we're at church several days a week. I only have certain days I can record here. I work fairly long days, and I'm like, okay, God, I don't know how I'm going to do this. So, yeah, ever since we've started recording, you can ask him. There's been a few days we've missed. We didn't do real great last week on the whole. See, we call it a family sacrifice instead of a family devotional. And it's funny because, like, hey, we're going to go do a family sacrifice, like we're sacrificing something. But no, it's a sacrifice of our time. It's a sacrifice of maybe I'd rather be going on a bike ride, or maybe I'd rather be watching a movie, or maybe but we deny our flesh, right? And so I'm just being honest and transparent with you guys. Last week, with trying to record episodes and stuff like that, we're trying to make it work. We're like, okay, well, we're not going to cut family sacrifices out, We can't do that. I'm not going to come here and try to proclaim the gospel and preach to men, and then let my family fall short. That's not what I'm not going to do that, because that's not honoring God. In fact, if anything, I believe that's dishonoring God.
Hypocrisy.
Yeah, exactly. So no, I'm not going to come and try to feed the rest of the world and then let my family go by the wayside. But I'm being honest with you guys. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it, because you got to be intentional. And so we kind of like, well, you know what? I guess I just got to come home on my lunch break, and we'll do a little family sacrifice thing on my lunch break, because if that's the only time I got to do it, that's the only time I got to do it. You know?
We live in a digital age, totally different than whenever I was a kid, for sure. Matter of fact, that telephone up there, I've used those a lot. You have to put it on your head. But now we live in such a digital age, you can go in and you can find things on YouTube or wherever, and you can find men's seminars, get different people that are preaching on men. Don't wait to go to church and get all your preaching in. If you're doing that, you're doing it wrong. You need to be doing your Bible study at home. You should encounter God every day, and your family needs to know that you're doing it, not because you're bragging about it, because they want to see you do it, and they want to see it in your actions, and then how your fuse gets longer all of a sudden. You're nicer. You handle life a lot better. That's how you're going to change everything. You need to set up that time every day, every morning, to encounter God, because it'll totally change your life. And I was going somewhere else with that, and I just totally lost it. So I'm going to let you talk now, because I'm drowning.
Started chasing that rabbit. Yeah.
Which hole he went into?
Well, I don't know, Steve. I hope you can find him and get the rabbit dog out. I wonder if they have rabbit dogs, or if it's just bird dogs. They got to have rabbit dogs. But no, man.
My dog's eyeballs go two different. She's kind of.
Oh, I remember her now. The one that used to eat the lids off the water bottles. Her, right?
Yeah, she still does that.
Yeah, she still does that. Okay. Yeah, no, man. I think
ate a doghouse too.
Ate a doghouse.
She did.
Ate the doghouse.
Pretty much all of it.
Huh.
Weird dog.
That's a weird dog.
Weird dog. Anyway.
Guys, I'm not trying to beat a dead horse. I'm not going back to the whole family sacrifice thing or family devotional, whichever one you want to call it. Guys, make up your own name.
Don't call it family sacrifice. Sounds like you're pushing someone over the cliff every day or something. It's time for family sacrifice. There goes Joey. Bet he doesn't do that again.
Yeah, exactly.
Family sacrifice.
No, not again.
Yeah, I'd use a different term.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, we use family sacrifice, and we're careful of what setting we do it, but now we just proclaim it to the whole world. And
there goes Grandma.
Yeah. Her cookies weren't very good anyway. But no, so.
Couldn't find my teeth. Go on, old lady. No, it's family sacrifice time.
So now you guys are getting a little taste of what it's like whenever we all hang out at the house.
That's what real men do.
And this is pretty dialed down.
We have fun.
You have to.
We're real. The whole thing about being a real man is being real.
Well,
we can laugh, we can cry, we can hug. I can kiss a guy on the cheek. Some of them, not all of them.
Yeah, not all of them.
But yeah, that's creepy. They have me like that.
But no, man, and that's what I appreciate about the people at our church, man, because it's just we know the truth.
Yep.
And I don't say that in bragging, like, hey, listen, we are the only church who knows the truth. No, that's not. That is absolutely not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that we know the truth and we do our best to live by it, right? Yep. And that's obviously not just in and of ourselves, but we have that help of the Holy Spirit, the helper. The reality is sometimes life happens, and sometimes we aren't intentional as, and I'll speak for myself because I can't speak for you or any of the other men, but I understand life. And sometimes life happens. Sometimes we're not as intentional as we should be. Sometimes, your goldfish drowns and you got to take care of that day.
I have one of them betta fish and it can't swim. I have a dog with eyes that go both ways, and we have this betta fish that doesn't swim, and we had a guinea pig with a butt crack. True story. We got rid of the guinea pig. That was just sick. The fish just sits there on the bottom. Every now and then I think it just kind of fills up with air and floats to the top and grabs a piece of something and comes down. But that's it. We have to check it every day. Are you alive? Every day, that's what Melissa does. Are you dead? Yeah. We don't have good luck with animals.
Interesting. Yeah, you guys definitely got the weird animals, that's for sure. Yeah. But no, man, it's real life, and man, everybody can spot somebody whenever you're just trying to put on a face.
Yep.
You may not see it the first time. You may not see it the 7th time. But you can't hide that forever.
No, let's get on pet peeve time.
Let's get it.
It's the worst thing in the world is for someone to get out of church and it's been a great service. You talk about how great things are, and then you go to a restaurant.
I knew that's where you're going.
You put the waitress through hell because she got your sandwich wrong.
Oh,
Lord forbid.
Yep.
She got your sandwich wrong because you had 15 other orders and she didn't get it wrong as some other guy in the back or chick or whoever, someone in the back messed it all up. But we're going to give them to, I'll show them. I won't tip. So you come in as Christians and you ask and poll the waitresses and they'll tell you, or waiters, whatever. And you ask them, who is your worst clientele? They will tell you almost 9 out of 10 it's the Christians because they're the most obnoxious, they complain the most, and they tip the least. Don't leave them a track. Unless it has a $100 bill in it. Don't leave them a track and leave them to the Lord, especially if you're a turd or if you have a turd in your group. You need to set, as a man, you're going out to eat as a group. We're not going to treat this lady. This lady didn't do anything to us. You're not going to do that. You're not going to eat with my family if you're going to be like that. Because, this is not what my sons don't need to see. My sons need to see us respecting this man or this lady, this server. They're here taking their time to serve us, and this is how they make their money. And you're going to go and just, no, you don't do that. And boy, you see that in the church all the time. All these great sermon, and then they go to the restaurant and they ruin it. And they wonder why people won't go to the church. Try to get that waitress to go to your church, that waiter to go to your church. No, they ain't going to your church because it doesn't have to be around you. And so you want to be a Christian? No, then I'll be like you. You got all kinds of problems. I'm a happy person. You're kind of a turd.
Yeah.
That, and did I mention about putting the pants back on the church? You got a lot of churches that have been so feminized. And that's because, not a slam on women.
No.
But women are taking charge because their men have not. And they're stepping back in these churches and they're not doing anything. So the women are going to church. They're the ones taking their kids. I see it all the time. Why is it that you almost never see a man and his kids in church without a wife?
Yeah.
But you, a lot of the time, will see a woman there without her wife. Or
without her wife.
Without her husband. If they come in with a wife, tell them that's wrong. That's an abomination. But anyway, so yeah. So these women are trying to do what they need to do to get their kids in church and everything, but everything's wrong. And these churches are so feminized. The music is sissified. Everything, just way too many flowers. Come on. We need more man stuff in there. We need men down at the altar crying. We can't do it with a bunch of daisies and stuff in the way. We've got to be the leaders in the church. We've got to be the ones stepping forward and praying at the altar. And again, our sons need, grab your son. Hey, come on, boys. Boom. We need to come. We need to talk to God and go to the altar and pray. You do that not just, even if you're praying with your kids and stuff at home, you want to do that at the altar and on service because you want other people to see too, not as a show, but as an example. I'm giving them myself to God, and I'm bringing my kids, especially you bring your kids, your boys, or all your kids even. I had this one church I thought was the coolest thing is every week whenever they did the offering, they took time, they'd play music, and everyone would get together as their family. There'd be families all over the place getting together, and they'd do communion together every time, just with themselves. It wasn't a corporate communion. It was just their family. Some of them did communion, some of them didn't, but they got together in a group and they prayed. They put their money in the offering bucket. They would do their communion and what have you with their family, and it was a cool thing. It's the coolest thing. Love going there. It's in Hot Springs, Arkansas. I go there every time, every chance I get. We go there, and that's probably our favorite part is the way they do that. And they have 2 sister churches that do the exact same thing. Oh, cool. Beautiful thing to see. But yeah, your kids, other people need to see you go up there with your kids. Set the example. Set the example for the other men in the church. Well, hey, if he's going to get up there, man, he's making me look bad. My wife's staring at me. Yeah, you suck.
Yep.
We'll get up there, take your wife up there and pray. Or pray without her. If she don't want to go pray without her. And eventually she'll feel like the hill and she'll come up there and start praying too. We can change everything. We can change it all. When you start doing those devotions, you start doing that stuff and taking charge in a lot of these things. You talk about enhancing your romance and changing your marriage. That'll do it right there. That's just a proven thing because that's how God wired that woman. She's watching you and she's going crazy watching you do that. And you're thinking, I'm just doing because God wants me to do it. And all of a sudden there's fringe benefits to it. Your wife treats you good. A great marriage is a great thing. Terrible marriage is awful. Awful.
Yeah. Hey, not speaking of terrible marriage, I love my wife. I did to death. I did say till death do us part.
It's sacrifice time.
And guess who it is tonight?
No!
But no, man.
I would seriously change the name of that because he's going to laugh forever now.
Yep.
What are we doing? No, he's going to take running out the door.
We're
having sacrifice time. Joey's gone.
Did we ever get to the
You're
third?
at a point there.
Yeah, I was. That's okay. Did we ever get to the third point of biblical manhood?
Yes, because I jumped out of order. Remember, I was talking about the kids.
Yes.
So it's become a Christian, or the rest doesn't matter because if you're not a Christian, you're going to hell.
Right.
So it doesn't matter anyway. So you become a Christian. That's the thing. You become a Christian. You honor God. You get married, that's your second step. You become a biblical husband. Yeah. And then you have children. Of course, third step is you groom your children, sons and daughters, but especially your sons. Your wife has a lot of the part in grooming her and how to be a Proverbs 31 woman, how to be a helpmate to her husband. But as far as our little young men, that man's in your hands, and he's going to be the kind of man that you dictate. And and I can't say that I was the best father, which is really hard to say because we had a pretty strong family, but there's things apparently that I didn't do right, and I wasn't as bold for God as I am now. Again, short fuse, let work dictate a lot of things, and I have one child that's pretty wayward, one that almost went, and we reeled it back in. And I got to say, the report on that one is outstanding. 180-degree turn because I did a lot of things as a man of my family and my wife. We did things differently, and we stepped in, and everything's great. The other two, they're both serving in church. Everything's good there. But, they have to do the one, that we pray for. But, I'm not going to beat him with the Bible.
No.
He's a lot bigger than me, but I'm going to love him. I'm going to show him the love of Christ no matter what. I'm going to show him. Is that the redwood forest?
Something.
I was down in the redwood forest one time. That's what it looked like.
Yeah?
Kind of creeped out now, thanks.
So for those of you that are on my computer went to sleep and it came up with the screensaver on the TV back here for my logo. And so that's what happened. I just fell asleep because I forgot to move the mouse. So that's that.
Redwood forest is creepy.
Yeah. Well, that was maybe a creepy picture. I don't know. Maybe I didn't mean to scare you, Steve.
I'm good.
Are you sure?
We got out of it.
Yeah. Just
my truck overheated and 2 cracks in the block. It's a terrible trip. Don't ever put that picture up there.
Yeah, I know, man.
Sacrifice time. Take that one and throw it. No.
Steve's like, no, not the forest.
Not the pitcher. No.
Come with me into the forest.
Family sacrifice night will never be the same.
No.
Joey runs. He's gone.
Out of here.
Liam, just go. Run. Just go. Don't worry. Just go.
Yes. 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 I know. Well, yeah, I mean, so we covered all three of the topics that we, or I guess the one topic, but 3-part topic that we wanted to cover. So let me ask you this, Steve, because I've obviously interviewed your wife, right? And so I have her answers, and you have no idea what she answered. So I hope you answer correctly.
My deodorant is secret. I use a woman's deodorant. Why? Strong enough for a man, but made for a woman. But strong enough for a man.
Yeah. Was that a secret?
Secret was.
I know.
My deodorant is I use a secret. We won a kind of a marriage game. What kind of deodorant does your husband use? Secret.
That is funny.
They put all these women, their feet sticking through these curtains, and there's like 10 pairs of feet, and you had to pick out your wife's feet.
Oh.
Yep, she's got that mole. She has a mole on her right foot. I know these things. I know everything about my wife. Go ahead. You were going to say something.
Yeah, well, now you think I remember what I was going to say after thinking about the mole on your wife's foot? Yes. So I don't
know what the question is. That's what you said.
Well, I already interviewed your wife, and so I already know all the answers, and you don't.
Oh, I bet I do know an answer.
Well, I just learned that she has a mole on her foot, so now I know that. But no, man. So
it's called communication. I communicate with my wife all the time.
That's a plus. That's a good one.
I don't have no doghouse. My dog ate it. True story. Ate every bit of it. I don't know why.
Every bit of it.
And her eyeballs go like that.
Yeah.
And a fish that doesn't swim.
It's like a hammerhead shark almost. Well, no. The eyeballs.
Oh, because oh, the dog.
I'm talking about the eyeball, not your wife.
The fish.
Oh,
because the fish doesn't swim.
I thought you talking about. I wasn't.
That'd be the worst shark either ever.
What?
Shark down there. Go ahead. You had a question.
Yeah. So third time, focus. I think. We're trying, man. We're trying. But no. So I know there's been challenges that you and your wife have gone through, right? And I'm not. You're gonna have to listen to the episode to figure out what your wife and I talked about. But obviously there's challenges that every marriage has. And so what's something that you guys do? And like I said, I know you guys don't argue, so maybe this doesn't apply to you quite as much because you've been down these roads, right? And you've got your angel wings. I can try to see them.
And you can interview my daughter too and ask her, does your mom and dad fight?
Yeah, I'll interview your daughter. But what's the way that you guys handle disagreements if and when you actually have them? Big, small, it doesn't matter. What's a tool you use?
Well, you get her crying, and all of a sudden she's right. Because I'm not gonna. Once she cries, it's over for me.
Oh.
So, and I think she knows that. No, we depending on what it is, it's got to line up with the word. Because whoever doesn't line up with the word is wrong. That's for sure. So, depending on what the problem is, if it's the way I talk, the way I said something, if it's something that didn't glorify God, then she's right. It just depends. We do have disagreements. We don't argue and we don't fight, but we have disagreements. There's things that she wished would be different, that I would be a certain way all the time. And there's things that I wish she would be a certain way all the time. Usually we tell each other. She'll ask me all the time, and I do the same thing. Am I doing what I need to do as a husband? Am I falling short? She'll ask me, how can I be a better wife to you? And that's humbling. That's really good whenever you have a wife that'll ask you that because they want to be better, So, and in return, that's what we need to do. We need to be telling them the same thing. What can I do differently? The Charlie
Kirk?
I want to say Hurt.
Charlie Kirk?
Charlie Kirk. We found out about him and his love notes on Saturday, and he always ended it with what can I do to be a better husband? And that's something we have talked about. We don't do it enough, but that's what you do. You try to make each other better. So it's all about talking. You don't just come in and hog and just demand an answer, and when you're wrong, as much as it's not fun, you got to tell them.
Yeah.
I was wrong. It's been a while, but I was wrong.
First time.
We handle it in the right way. We don't, yell and scream and demand.
No.
It's not a communist marriage. I
No.
mean, we talk about things and we agree on things. And bottom line is, I love my wife. I'm not here to hurt her. She's the last person I want to hurt. If I was on a deserted island, that's all I need is my wife on there. Am I perfect? Not by far. She'll tell you that. Is she perfect? No, I'll tell you that. But we always try. We always try to get better. We're always wanting, you're never through with your walk with God. You're walking with Him every day, and you learn more and more. Anyone that gives up and I'm 80 years old, I'm 90 years old, so I don't read my Bible, that's stupid. You're always trying to get better. You're always trying to get closer to God, because you know what? I don't want it to be awkward when I get to heaven. I want Him to grab me, put me in a noogie. I want to be able to walk up to Peter and go, "He called you Satan." Just something. Yeah. I want to trip Eve. I want to walk that with my wife. I don't do enough with my wife. And that's one thing we've been talking lately about. We've talked about it before, but I have failed in making it happen. Is she's wanting to do some studies, different studies together. Well, I'm going to tell everybody here now that I am going to do that with my wife. I'm going to make it happen. I don't know. We're going to pick something. We're going to do something, and we're going to go after it and start studying things together. Because if I do a study and she does a study, we always compare notes. Why don't we just do it together? And it's just weird learning how to do it together, because I do it one way, she does it another way. So it's formulating a way that works for both of us. And as a man, again, I need to step in and try to do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Because that'll change us. Make us even stronger, We think we have a good marriage now. You do stuff like that, and you're just making it stronger and stronger. I mean, it's impenetrable. And, that's what we want. God comes first in our family. And whatever she answered, I know it has to do with, whatever God wants in our life. That's what we want. And if it's something that I've done or she's done that's against God's will, against what His Word says, we're quick to admit that we're wrong, and we want to fix it.
So we've got another question for you, actually, because whenever something you were saying earlier kind of sparked me thinking.
Was it bad? Did I do something bad?
I guess there's one way to find out, Steve. I guess you'll find
because
out.
I yelled and hurt someone's ear.
I guess you'll find out.
I'm sorry, whoever that was.
Yeah, he really is sorry. He's actually nice once you get to know him.
Got to come to church sometime. Get real loud.
But no, so I'm kind of trying to pre-ask a question for somebody in the audience thinking, well, you know what, Steve, that's just dadgum nice. You know what, that's freaking great that you have a great marriage and that, you and your wife are dadgum angels and you guys don't ever fight. And, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that you just got the perfect marriage, Steve. But you know what? My marriage sucks because my wife and I, we're always yelling at each other. There's always fighting, and Steve, you just don't understand what it's like to have a marriage like that because you've just always had this great marriage.
You would be absolutely surprised to know that I was married with my first wife for 11 years. My wife was married previously, and she was in an abusive marriage. I was just in a marriage where we argued all the time, and I was not a good husband. I'll admit that. I became a Christian in my older teenage years. I was not a good husband, and our marriage fell apart because of me. Because I didn't know how to lead. In my wife's situation, she was in an abusive marriage, but both of us will tell you that knowing what we know now, even though our marriage is what it is and what I think about my wife and what she thinks about me, knowing everything that we have, children-wise and grandchildren, I would trade it to fix the first marriage. No, I would trade it. If I had a choice to go back and fix that instead of walk away from it, I would have fixed it, knowing what I know now. Right. But unfortunately, I don't. So sometimes, if you're going through a divorce or you've divorced, life isn't over. God will take something ugly and turn it into something beautiful if you will let him. Now, here, we get along better than anyone. We teach marriage conferences. We teach couples how to get along and stuff. And these are two people coming from bad marriages. But we decided when we got together that we're going to honor one another. We're not going to ever bash each other's character. We can talk about any issue there is, as long as I don't ever bring her in the picture and say, well, if you would have, you said, as long as you leave you out of it, you can't argue. All you can do is you can talk about the subject, whatever it is. If you're in a marriage, it's not too late. If you're in a marriage, Stop and become the man of God that he wants you to be. Learn how to treat your wife biblically. Go to your pastor. Go to someone that has a great marriage. And don't make fun of people that go to marriage seminars and tell them that they're goofy. Why do y'all go to marriage? The stupidest thing I ever heard was, why do you go to marriage seminars? You have a good marriage. That's why we have a good marriage.
Yeah.
Because we go to seminars, we do things, we watch things, we get teaching. We don't wait for Sunday to come. We get teaching all week long, or we don't listen to music that's talking about divorce and, we'll listen to country music or rock or whatever send you to hell. No, but it's what goes in. What are you feeding yourself? What are you reading? What are you watching? What are you listening to? All them things matter in your life because that's what's going to come out towards your wife or towards your husband. You can turn this thing around right now. Just start one day at a time. Women are responders. And if you've been treating her like crap for years and you're trying to do it a quick fix, that's not going to work. You got to be in it for the long haul. It may take a month. It may take 2 months. It may take 6 months. But eventually, they're waiting for you to fall on your face and go back to the way you were. As long as you stay the course and you keep doing what God wants you to do, they will respond. They will turn around and respond, and you'll see that wall will come down. You'll see that you get to snuggle again. Mm-hmm. You see that you get to sleep in the same bed again. Even the dog will like you more. I mean, everything's good. My dog's got eyeballs.
Your dog can't see you anyway, just looking at you.
But no, it's if you're in a marriage, it's not too late to fix it. Mm-mm. Fix it.
Yeah.
Fix it. If you don't have God, that's your problem. Get God and learn what he wants you to learn about a marriage. Look it up. Everything on Google is not great. You have to kind of pick and choose, but there is some good stuff that you can find on marriage. And just start there and see what you're doing wrong. Get down on your knees and tell God first. Go to Jesus and tell him to forgive you for being a rotten husband and to show you how to be a man. Show you how to be a godly husband and then get around people that have good marriages. If you get around people that hate their wives, what are you going to do? You're going to jump in and do the same thing with them. Go to people that are totally just head over heels in love with their wife and get with don't just go to young couples, go to older couples and ask them, how did you make it this far? What did you do? Find out. Hang out with them. Most of the time, those are the ones that pay for food anyway. They'll take you out to eat because most of their stuff's paid for, not mine. I'm that old guy that'll take people out, especially if we're going to talk about your marriage. I'm going to pour into you. And you know what? And other people that have strong marriages, I guarantee you, will want to pour into you. Mm-hmm. Oh, you need help with your marriage? Well, yeah, come meet with us. And most of them would be more than happy to. As long as they're godly people, you do it. If they're not godly people, find a godly couple. Mm-hmm. Find godly couple. And because that's what this is all about. It's leading you to the Lord and a better relationship with him if you have one. If you don't have one, you need one. You can say what you want, but hell is real. Just like heaven's real, hell's real. And when this thing ends, there's going to be a point in time where we don't have the opportunity for that salvation. We don't have an opportunity to ask Jesus into our lives. There's going to come a point where it's going to be too late. Right now, it's not too late. So anything you've done, if you're not saved, get that done first, and then ask God to show you, put people in your life to guide you. That's my advice to anybody that's going through anything. My marriage is good because we work on it every day. And if I let my guard down, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much, for my wife to say some kind of snide comment or some, but we don't. We make sure we don't. So we have to stay on top of things. You stay on top of things in your marriage, and like I said, life is good. And you can fix any problem. As long as you're still married, you can fix it. Yeah. And there are couples that get remarried. You can fix, old marriages. It just depends on what you want.
Yeah.
Go to God. God will show you.
Yeah. Yeah. It is, man. Just watching you.
They can't see that because I have the box blocked.
Oh, yeah, you got them blocked.
They just think I have like epilepsy or something. Or whatever.
Think you got something.
Whatever tremors. Tremors.
No, man, that's great, man. I love. Excuse me.
You love me? What?
Yeah, I love you. I love you, Steve. I do.
I know you do.
I'd kiss you on the cheek, but I ain't going.
Hey, I'm here all week, brother. I'm here. No.
Well, yeah. Hey, listen, I'm gonna get a step stool because I ain't gonna be able to reach you.
Oh, I'll bend down for you.
Ah, man, that's awful sweet of you. Been down for
The
Lord
truck's
Farquhar.
bigger than mine.
Hey, it sure is. Yeah.
It is. We both drive a Dodge, but
think-
yours is much taller than mine.
Well, but it doesn't have a lift. It's stock though. It's stock. Lord Farquhar, that was not stock.
You know, I've never asked you for forgiveness for that. And I probably should. You know what? You should just go ahead and forgive me for that.
Should I forgive you for that?
I was wrong for doing that, and it wasn't that funny. It's hilarious. But I'm sorry. If it hurt your feelings,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just know that you can take it.
Yeah.
And I can take That's why I let you call me fat guy all the time. I don't care.
Yeah.
We were going to do a podcast together called Little Boy and Fat Guy.
Yeah. Fat
Right?
man.
Fat man and Little Boy. We were going to do it. We're going to call it The Bomb. We're going to blow up all these.
Blow up all the podcast.
Yeah.
I know.
It could still happen.
It could. For the record, my feelings weren't ever hurt.
I wouldn't have done it. I'd never want to hurt you. But that was a good night because your wife, man.
Oh, my wife.
We had deliverance.
Oh, man.
We had game night, and then we had deliverance night. And then the next time y'all came over, we delivered a baby.
Yeah.
It didn't get any better
and then ate salsa. So yeah.
Yeah,
that was a
so
good
I
night.
didn't let him come over after that.
I didn't deliver a baby.
No, I delivered.
He
I delivered a baby.
He delivered the baby
I was
in the
making
bathtub.
salsa, stopped the salsa, washed the jalapeno off my hand, went and delivered the baby, cleaned the baby off my hand, came back and finished the salsa.
I'm glad.
That salsa was spot on.
I bet Taylor was very glad you washed your hands from the jalapenos before you went and delivered that baby.
Humongous, 10 pounds, 12 ounces. True story.
Was that number 2 for them, right? That was number 2.
I got lots of. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
two.
that was number 2. And so then they've had like 17 since then. But
No, they've only got 5 now.
I've only got 4, and we're like, hey, that's good.
And that's the last one, Desmond.
Okay.
McKenna's the one that's like, Paw.
I haven't met anybody below the third one.
Because they pop out too quick.
Well, yeah, because I remember the third
and y'all
one.
don't come out enough.
We don't. But I remember the third one, and then after that, I just lost count. I'm like, I don't know what they're up to. Like, I see a new face, and I'm okay.
Hey, I'm the same way. How'd you get up this? Who are you?
Who are you? We didn't know you was coming.
You just want candy. You don't like me. That's my line. You just want candy. No, I do. I love you because you buy candy.
Yeah, because you buy the candy. Yeah. Oh, no, Steve. I guess you got anything else? I know you always have something to say. Okay. Do you have something impactful that it's either for the either about to be or just got married husband, just got married wife, and either one you pick, or both, I don't care. Something you can say to them and just some wisdom that they can glean from, and they can say, okay, well, that's another tool that I have in my toolbox going into this thing.
If you're not in a church, get in a church. It's hard to be a Christian and not be in church, but get a good church. Get a good church that has good biblical teaching and that has a pastor that loves his wife. It makes a difference because they're going to pass that on to their people. Just get a good church because that's going to help when you have problems, which you're going to have problems in a marriage. It's good to have people to go to. Good, strong Christian people. That's my best advice is get into a good Bible teaching church with a pastor that's crazy about his wife. And I would ask him that when you go there and you're visiting this church, ask him, what do you think about your wife? And see what they say. If they blow it off, go to another church. But if they tell you, I'm crazy about my wife, and then she smiles when he says it, go out to eat with them, see how they treat the waitress.
Yeah.
Or the waiter. Jesus loves you when everyone else thinks you suck.
Yep.
Hey, one day we can sell shirts for that. Jesus loves. Yeah, you give it's for Christians. It's for Christians that are hypocrites or jerks. Yes, and you give it to them. You know what? Jesus loves you, but everyone else thinks you suck, and just throw them a t-shirt. Anyway, get into a good church. If you see me there, just it could be entertaining. But get into a good church. Good pastor that loves his wife, and then you find other men. Iron sharpens iron. You find other men, and when you have problems, when she has problems or issues, she has other people she can go to. You have people you can go to, and then come back to each other and compare notes and fix everything. That's my bet. Get into a good church. You got to have a support system. Can't do it on your own. No. And if you're not a good, strong Christian, you need people that can lead you to that. Yeah. And that's where a good church comes in. Not for them to be Christ for you or to do the study for you, but a lot of them have gone through the battle for you. I've gone through the battle I've gone through the battle with the previous marriage. I don't ever want to go through that again. So that's why we don't argue. Because that's all I did was argue with my first. Why would I want, So we just set boundaries, and we don't go past some boundaries.
Yeah.
But yeah, find a good church, find a good pastor. If you're ever in North Dakota, come visit our church over here at Open Gate.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll be back by then.
I hope so.
We'll see what happens.
We will see.
But find a good church nonetheless. There's a lot of good churches out there. Just make sure that pastor loves his wife. Go out with a restaurant with him. See how he treats a waitress.
Yeah.
And then you could judge him. And then tell everyone, you know what? He was nice to the. They're not going to get it. You'll understand.
Yeah.
You'll understand.
He was nice to the waitress or the waiter.
Was it a good church? Well, the pastor loves his wife, and he was good to the waiter. Doesn't get no better than that.
It really doesn't.
Or
man.
ask their son when no one's looking. Hey, how's your dad?
Yeah. I know, man. That's the thing. That's the thing I tell people, and I've told people this.
Yeah, don't ask me.
People, man.
That's my kid. She'll tell you. After an argument.
You seem like you're a great husband or a great father. Dude, don't ask me. I can tell you anything. You go ask my dadgum kids if I'm a good dad.
Yeah.
You ask.
They'll tell you.
You ask my wife if I'm a good husband. You don't ask me.
Yep.
I'm the last person you should ask.
You're known by your fruit, and your children are your fruit. Just saying.
Yeah. Finally, what was it like back in January? Let's talk about doing Fat Man Little Boy podcast called The Bomb, and now we're here. What's this?
But we'd still be doing Man Talk. I mean, we'd still be doing anything that we would have done, even, or that we will do in the future.
Yeah.
However things go, it's going to be pointing to Christ. Period. We can have fun. We can talk politics. You can talk anything we want to on that podcast. We're just going to go. We're going to blow up theories and different things.
Blow up the internet and get everybody.
Hey, whatever it takes. But this is one I'm wanting to see and blessed right here, bro. Yeah. This is what needs to go.
Absolutely. No, Steve, this has been great, man. And hey, if we get a chance to do another one, I want to do another one before you leave. If we don't, then we'll get you next time. But if we can, maybe
I can wear a different hat. And talk different.
And you can.
I talk like I'm from like Australia or something.
Good,
mate. But y'all can see me. Never mind. I'll shave.
You should. Oh. Yeah,
I have no chin.
Yeah, let's not do that.
I have no chin.
Everybody's seen that meme where the guy shaves his beard and nothing.
No, I haven't, Trey.
No. Okay, well, now it got awkward because now it's like, okay, well, now I got to find it and show you. And I hope it's not a picture of you after, because I've never seen you shave.
Right, I have no chin.
I've never seen you shave.
Our cook guys have big foreheads and little chins.
Oh, yeah. Well, awesome, Steve. Well, again, man, I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. And take the time out of your day, which I know you weren't too heartbroken about. And it's been great, man. It's been great.
You called me fat? You called me lazy?
No,
I painted a whole lot today.
I know you did.
I painted fast just so I can be here. I started doing stuff that I'm going to be doing today, so I can be on.
I appreciate that. I'm sure Roy appreciates that, too.
Roy will be fine. Roy's going to be fine.
But no, what I'm saying is, how did that get turned to a fat joke, man? That's wrong.
Because you're calling me lazy. You're saying
I
too
did
fat
not
for
call
the
you
ladder.
lazy. I did not.
The ladder didn't bend any when I was on it. It says rated for 225 pounds, and I'm over 225 pounds, and it didn't bend.
Hey,
so
that's good, Steve.
Even the ladder didn't.
That's good. Honestly, I don't remember what I said, and then you're like, "Oh, it's a fat joke." I'm like, "It wasn't a fat joke."
You said something about wanting to eat.
Yeah. Well, I probably do want to eat. I should just had some quesadillas.
No, you said I didn't mind getting away.
Oh, that's what I said. Yeah.
See, which means
That's not what I meant.
Leave your wife there to do the painting. Yeah. She paints so good, though. She will.
Oh man,
she don't get on the roof.
No. Well, awesome, Steve. Well, I'm gonna close this. Out in prayer, and praying for my audience, people that are listening, because if you got nothing else from this podcast.
If you didn't listen.
Well, yeah, you didn't listen. But if you don't get anything from any of the podcast episodes, man, I want to give you a prayer whenever you leave, right? Because just like I said in the last 2 episodes that I've done today, there's power in our prayer.
Always. Because
we know who, number one, we know who we're praying to.
Yep.
Right? We know exactly who we're praying to. And number one, my God's not dead. He's surely alive. And so.
I should make that to a song.
Oh, yeah. Huh. I wonder. I feel like they may be already
that would be
dead.
good if you. Man, see, you need to set this thing up to where he's on target. As soon as you say something like that,
yeah.
God not dead, he's surely alive.
That's not have to edit in.
Then carry on.
Yeah.
Go ahead. This is a serious moment.
That's okay. Well, it was a serious moment. It's not a serious moment anymore.
Be Solomon.
Yes. Wait, wasn't he the one with 700 wives and 300 concubines or something like that?
That's why he was serious.
Yeah.
Imagine that trip.
Oh boy, I know.
Imagine that trip to Walmart. Ooh. Where do y'all want to eat? Anywhere.
Oh no.
No. It's sacrifice day. No. $699. I'm sorry. Go ahead. We're gonna pray, right?
Family sacrifice. Yes. Yeah. All right, man. We have fun here, people, and we hope you've had fun on this episode.
It's fun serving the Lord.
It is. Yeah.
It's fun.
It is.
You can be called fat and still have fun.
It is, man, and we still love you, even though.
You know, and I can lose weight. You're still short. But, what?
I can't
wear
change
taller
that.
shoes.
Your
truck's taller than mine. So.
Yeah. And that,
when you're in the truck, you look like you're like 6'8".
I know I do. Man, when I was in the military, I had this guy. I know we're about to pray, and now I'm telling a story. But there was this guy in my old truck, and I pulled up, and
he was backing up all scared.
I jumped out of the truck. He's like,
did you start singing? We represent the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild.
I did not.
Good, because that's a terrible song.
It's an awful song, and I'm actually kind of offended you even sung it on. That's okay, though. I'll forgive you. But no, he's like
going to hell, too.
Yeah. He's like, man, Turner, he's like, you look like, he was my supervisor. He's a black guy, about as tall as me. He's like, man, Turner, you look mad tall when you're up in that truck, and then you jump out, look like you need a parachute.
See, if you would have told him, no, I'm Lord Farquaad, he would have laughed.
But see, that was before I met you.
Oh, well, there you go.
Before I met you.
I've enhanced your life.
You have. You've definitely enhanced my life. So I make.
But I've been nicer. I went the whole sermon.
You did.
I preached so long people were leaving, and I didn't do one joke on you. Not
I know.
one.
You almost did, but you
I stopped myself because I'm mature now.
You grabbed your tongue. You know,
I did.
Man, I'm proud of you, Steve.
My wife was reel it in, baby. Reel it in.
Yeah.
Okay, we're praying.
Okay, yeah. So we
never know what you're gonna get.
You don't know what you're gonna get.
Most podcasts, they can be kind of boring and stuff. This is real. This
we
is
don't
about
want
as real
to be
as it gets.
Yeah, exactly. We don't want to be fake.
Come order at church and we'll take you out to eat.
We will.
How about that?
Yeah. No, do it. So.
Oh my God, 50 people are gonna show up.
Oh no.
Hey, that guy, little short fella, Lord Farquaad or whatever his name was. He said he's gonna take 50 of us out. Where's that fat guy at? Oh, he ain't here. Oh crap. Y'all said y'all gonna take me out to... Oh, crap.
Lord Farquaad looks like you're the one taking us. No. You're gonna get a second job.
Boy, is his wife gonna be mad. It's sacrifice day.
Yeah.
No! Okay. We were gonna pray.
Sorry, guys, if we blow your eardrums out at any point in this. Anyways, Lord, number one, we just thank you that we can come and that we can just have that communion with each other, God, but that while we are doing that, God, you are here. You are present, and you are with us. So, God, we just thank you for that. And, God, also, I just pray over anyone that's listening to this podcast right now, God. I just pray, number one, that you bless them, God, and if they don't have a relationship with you, or maybe they do, and maybe it's just starting, it's just growing, God, I just pray that you show up and you show yourself to them. God, reveal your love to them. Show them how deep and how wide your love is for them. And so, Lord, I just pray that the men that have listened, God, I pray that they've gotten something from this, the importance of being a husband, being a man of God, and being a godly father to their children, and showing their children and leading the way of what it looks like, even though we may not be perfect and that we're going to stumble, but that our children will see us rise again and come back stronger than whenever we fell. So, Lord, I just thank you, God. Thank you that Steve was able to take the time out of his day and come and do an episode with me. And God, I just pray that you bless them and bless the work of their hands. God, bless everything that they do, Lord. And God, we thank you and we praise you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Don't turn it off.
Don't turn it off. Wait.
Hit subscribe, by the way. Now, tell me something. So can people, send you messages?
Yeah. I mean, you can go, we have a Facebook page. You can send
Not
us.
that I'm anybody special, but I can make this thing entertaining. If you get 100 people that I don't know,
sure,
and that you don't know,
sure,
that write in and say, bring that fat sweaty guy back, I will drive back 1,200 miles and we'll do whatever. Hey, we'll bring it on. That's a guarantee.
Hey, all right, man.
That's a
All
guarantee.
We shook hands.
100 people that you don't know and I don't know.
Okay.
Don't be calling people saying, "Hey,
No.
You know,
I can find 100 people that I
if I see
know.
17 Turners on there, I'm gonna know lie.
No.
We're gonna have sacrifice night. No, we'll have fun, and we'll talk about something that's fun.
Yeah, we will.
Besides just wives and
and husband. Yeah. So yeah, you heard him. You get 100 messages.
100 people, we'll do it. Yeah,
we will do it.
We'll ride this thing.
Yeah, and it's got people I don't know. So, Mom, if you watch this, don't be sending me a message.
No, she can, but it had to be 101.
It just doesn't count. It doesn't count. So, okay. Well, all right, you guys, you heard it. So, anyways, guys, thank you. Like, subscribe, follow. We will catch you on the next episode. Peace out.